very cool mission. Dang, all the way up here. Okay. That whole chase sequence or escape sequence felt like something out of Uncharted. That's all I was thinking. Wait, we need to go to Meridian and turn in those metal flowers. Okay. More fast traveling. Hold the phone. Where's Meridian? Right here. Whew. Another loading screen. Love it. Why are loading screens so long in this game? I don't know which one he would be. Artifact, I guess.
Why'd he try to kill this? Back from the wild.
Oh,
Come on back. I pay well for Banuk relics, Outlander.
yeah, but I don't have any relics for you.
Knew it was only a matter of time.
For you. What? Why would I want to buy any of these? Specialty merchant? Oh wait, Bellowback Heart. Perfect. Now we can make this.
Ah, you're back.
Is it this guy? Metal flowers, yes.
Ah. Till we meet again. Could you spare a moment?
Let's see what we get. Oh. Okay. I don't... These all suck. I'll take them and sell them. But we need to go to the hunting goods merchant.
Things?
I didn't realize I could just straight up buy the bellowback heart from this dude, or from that dude. Wait, what? Let's see what kind of boxes he has. Oh, so you can buy, oh, okay. Okay. I see. Interesting. What is this guy?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
I will leave. Ah. You're everything I'm not. Strong.
Hey. Now we have all the very rare armor. We just need the Shadow Reaver. And then once we get that, we're good. Long leg hearts, like whatever. Broadhead heart. I'm just clearing space really right now.
Brave, active. Come.
All right. Stealth. So boom, and 6% stealth, 8% stealth. Okay. I'm kind of trash when it comes to the
Talk a spell.
mods for that, but I mean, what can you do? And now, where are we going? Back over here. Oh, another 5-minute wait. Dude, the bar's like literally filled. Thank you. Gosh. Okay.
keep that for later.
It says there's a broadhead site over here. Are you kidding me? Dude, there's two of them? Yeah, can I just like go, please? Definitely don't feel like fighting two rock breakers right now. Okay. Oh, there's grass over here?
Sunfall. The Mad King Duran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Cool, a side quest.
She's very pale. Is she unwell?
Yes. She's a fighter, but the fever on her won't lift. It only burns hotter. Her name is Shiana, my sister.
Isn't there anyone in Sunfall who can help?
We're refugees. We know our place. And there's only one healer in the territory. He's difficult. His soul is in shadow.
His soul is in shadow.
Does that mean he's a shadow
Khalif.
carja?
That's him. He's very clever, but he has little care for people. Perhaps the desert scoured it all away. Perhaps he was always like that. Either way, I know he won't help us.
Well, I'll see about that. Where would I find him?
Last I heard, he was patching up soldiers at Blazing Arch. Another border battle.
Where's that at? I just want to see. Oh, it's over here. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll keep the moon from your brow.
Why are there screams? Go to the Citadel courtyard.
At least Kaja don't have to debase ourselves with it.
Lens flare.
The Sun Ring. A proud tradition of Carja.
Stay off my focus.
If the eclipse catches you here, you'll be lucky if you survive long enough to wind up in that ring. Now we get to see if your attack on their focus network was entirely successful. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment.
That was really weird. It totally wasn't worth it coming all the way over here. Knew it. Like Gladiator, dude.
Outlanders! If you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne. Don't bother me, Outlander.
Okay.
All the bounties are announced in the throne room.
Supposes nothing strange.
Bounties. What is this, Witcher 3?
Another savage.
By the glory of the sun revealed. Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King, the light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law!
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
By the will of radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair. You and I need to chat, little huntress. The green tent down in Shadowside. I'll be waiting.
Kind of busy.
We both know you're no killer for hire. Uthid is innocent. So come see me while there's still time to save him.
So, the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the sun ring from on high.
Well, the Kestrels.
They want us to see
Alright.
this, boy. It makes quite an impression.
Balustrade.
Fled
It's a short
Sunfall.
drop from there.
But then why?
Are you supposed to go down? Yeah. No, dude. Thank you.
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
Got it.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
So I think that was it warning me. 5500 XP. Yeah, I don't really need to do these side quests. Uthid, a well-liked Shadow Carja officer, been marked for death by High Priest Bahavas. I'm okay with not doing these, really. Oh, wait. What? I never talked to Nil? Oh. Hopefully I can do that after. I didn't know I had to talk to Nil for that, but I'm okay. Not doing the errands and side quests I have. Except for the Ancient Armory quest. I would still like to get that armor.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobek here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. Too bad now,
Guess you can't have everything.
That will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
This is it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures.
Another incident from lounge staff to admin. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. Excuse me. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well-behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. Okay, so they're having problems down here.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
I thought there was a data point back there. We need support too, from reception staff to admin. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused, some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The link bots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails?
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Waiting room? Soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. What are they doing making people scream?
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Restock or else. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of the organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage varietals, I'm going to lose it. Please respond, and this time, no tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes, okay? Dang.
was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. Waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
That was very, very interesting.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
What?
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
It's over here. It's like a maze, dude. What? Well. What data points where? I feel like there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I've missed.
You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since
Would you like to take a moment?
No. I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Want to discuss?
Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, it was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malkeet was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty, too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
That's a weird
I believe
sentence.
Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
PhD molecular and cellular biology.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them?
Not just people, all organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doc, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Wait, I need to go up. Sounds like those two had a history. I want to see if there's anything up here. Thank you.
There is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible. But it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
You were brought here because of your skill set.
No, that can't be right. I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Candidate interview, information warfare specialist.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Mrs. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Harris said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Oh, text log. For the briefing after presentation 1, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures, so that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this with hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are... What are they?
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow, and you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Oh, great.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades, then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
They better. Make your selection. You're now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. 1. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family for 2 persons of your choosing will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facilities abandon, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. Yeah, that was my thing. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice or if you have further questions. Hey, counselor guidelines. For debriefing after presentation 2, it is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation and acknowledge that, while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the possibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish and allow access to supplemental articles GD1 through P20. Or is that G01? I don't know. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process the documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision data corrupted. Dude, just info dumps everywhere. All over the place.
Intruder! Get her!
So they will.
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Baby!
Oh my gosh. Thank God. Please be voice. Okay. Oh hey, it's Christina again.
Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair, not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years.
Power's down.
So the idea of a reconstituted
I've done this
biosphere,
before.
well,
Just
it's
be
horrifying,
focused.
isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't.
Here we go.
Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it.
Need to find the right configuration.
That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse.
Maybe there's a
I don't get
storage
paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Okay. Now it's time to crack this. Oh wait. West, north, south. Wait, but there's 5. Oh, south and then east. Okay.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
And then the store? North. way I can't do anything with these for some reason. Okay, I'll check out this door. Ooh, ladder. There's gotta be another power cell in somewhere in this place, I would hope.
Found one. Looks intact.
So what do I do with the, oh. Put it in right there, that makes sense.
That should do the trick.
Okay, so north, west, south, east, north. Hold on, I already messed. Okay, south. Is that right? Or do I have to do it? I think it's going from, I think it starts on this end. So we need to make this one west. And then this one east. No, I was wrong. Okay, I'm going from top to bottom. Oh, it's upside down. I think. Because the pharaoh's on the bottom and the letters are upside down.
That did it.
There we go.
Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Because I was like, I'm doing it. I did it twice, both ways. And it still didn't work. So I was like, what could I...
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Oh my gosh. Is there just 3 of them? Bro, why is this music so intense?
I've been seen.
Battle is upon us.
I don't... There's no... Oh my gosh. Whoa. Where did these guys come from? What? Wow. What? No, it's not.
Or not.
We've got intruders!
You cannot hide from our wrath.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Oh.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
My turn.
What? Drop it, please. Thank you. Find the entrance to Sobek's office.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus.
Hold on, Margot. From Elizabeth Sobek to Margot Shen. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as a Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. Time to start construction. One detail, consult with Iomide Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the tower should be accounted for in the inventory plan.
As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots. And not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical in places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines
Yeah, I was
weren't
gonna
always
say,
so angry.
they adapted to become
Mostly
angry.
they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
No text. Wow, you weren't kidding about guys' predilection for animal morphology. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever guy thinks up Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Yeah, no you don't. I can't scan through the glass.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. More eclipse.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries, 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Okay, but what happened to Apollo? Because, I mean, we haven't found it. Okay, that's really cool. I'm kind of tired of reading. Their voice log's cool, but... Apollo update. Okay, I want to read this. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Apasia Personae. Personally, I found them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Peace be with you, Samina. Odd.
Quietly.
I didn't realize that was a heavy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. Oh, what?
They're leaving.
They are?
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what
Go
end?
up!
My
Oh my
only
god.
lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message,
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
sincerely,
In what should have been a cave of wonders.
Aaron
Look around.
Harris.
See if anything is left.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just
Okay, I'm really sorry. I know that was like literally the worst spot to pause, but I had to.
Well, no.
Oh, this mission is so long.
Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine your Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over.
That's why Hades wants to kill us.
Burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate.
Because he wants Gaia to start over. But with us alive, we're not gonna let Gaia start over.
Back to zero. Square one. Blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Noise complaints. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore. Anyone who says the old TT chords to Bashcore straight up lying. And you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dazzle. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter, sit a rum run off than listen to Grace Horn for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal theme stuff too. What? Excuse me? Stop by if you want to listen, or hey, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no bashcore you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceilings following you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet gothic death fish. Hallelujah. As for those requests to turn down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal. Might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malt, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard and degraded the Gaia core, sure. It pried her figurative fingers off the figurative drawing wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business, so I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system in reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky, I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turned out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong, so I guess it's time to sleep in bed. I'll back to it tomorrow, alligators. Alright, Tate. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission, but your 666 submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings to read inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remaster of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of Making a Millipede. Okay. For clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity, you have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work? We have a world to save after all, the rest of us do anyway. Dang.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions.
Whoa, more lore.
It is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Oh. Oh my god, so much. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. Their revelation is astonishing. I don't know what you had to give for zenith and trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, while a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours and get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours.
Are these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs.
Yeah.
Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
Development of the artificial impersonate for cradle servitors, I don't know how to say that. Nurture, disciplinarian, healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of Personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated. Especially concerning are entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personae. I have also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother personae intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior, a parental argument if you will, amusing on first glance perhaps but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan, blah blah blah. Data corrupted. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good for our main voyage's success. Regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection. Of course I understand we have limited overhead to run simulation of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donk... what? In addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia 02 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Please just let us get to Sobek's office.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Well, we're here.
Looks like it used to hold something.
That would benefit from antilopenate morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good. You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Terrible news, I'm afraid. Varzianeth has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, its cargo of zygotes and seeds, and its alpha build of Apollo, all were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed. Elizabeth. Dang, no power cell. Disappointing. It's coming along, Liz. I'm positive about it. If those words can still mean anything, had my sleeves rolled up with negotiating with frozen zoos for their samples. I can't speak. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram dioramas, suspended in what-ifs, more than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. We've started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere. Microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, foxes and wolves. Thousands more that will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them, so they can return to a world that, this time, will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There's already been too many too lates. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough in Myanmar. The samples we lost were, well, irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the circle of life will bend, not break. The Earth was a lifeless rock before, and someday it will be again. But not now, not like this, not on our watch. Ronson.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.